Hey, good afternoon. How are you? This is Rich from Team South Florida Law Enforcement Charity, and I am joined today with Louis Vasquez, the president of the Fairlawn PBA up in New Jersey. How are you, Louis?
Good. How's it going? Yes, we represent Fairlawn's Local 67. It's an honor to be here.
And we're honored to have you. Well, as some of you might know, what our organization has the opportunity to do as of late is we've seen some negative incidents that are in the media, the news, just involving our profession as a whole. And though we don't get in the habit of doing this, sometimes we're very fortunate and we're able to find the positive at the end of these negative incidents. And I just want to thank you. You're the president of your local PBA. Based on your action and our opinion, we are able to find the positive in a very negative incident. What I'm going to discuss very briefly, it involves a certain group of officers, and I want to make sure I explain for those like myself in Florida and maybe not familiar with New Jersey as much. What is a special law enforcement officer?
An SLEO 3 is a special law enforcement officer, recently retired, who have the opportunity to come back, after they retire and become school resource officers. And we're fortunate enough to have their years of experience in our elementary and middle schools now, all our schools.
So now the city of Fairlawn is lucky enough to have an armed police officer in each one of their schools. Is that correct?
Correct.
Well, that's great. That's something to be very, very proud of, especially these days. Now, the unfortunate thing is, and I'm not going to go into the specific comment over here, we'll pop it up on the screen and everything for those in the audience, the supporters to see, but we became aware of quite an ignorant comment that was very, very negative. What surprised us more than anything was the source. And it came from somebody of a very professional background with quite the extensive professional resume. Without going into detail, why don't you tell us, what something like that does to maybe the police department, the community, or in your own words?
I can tell you what, since the comment was made, we found a lot of support in our community, ranging from Facebook, social, like all types of social media outlets, and everybody was like, they were beside themselves with it. And it didn't matter what they were. You had different minorities that disagreed with her comment. And it was an unfortunate, a dangerous comment, if you will, which was followed up by a lie saying that she was hacked, recanted that statement, and then, she came out with an apology, which is a step in the right direction. However, the damage is done already. And unfortunately, comments like that, there's no statistics behind it. People would just throw these comments out there, not just her, but a lot of other people, and they're reckless. They're very reckless comments, especially, in her position of being a high executive. It's pretty appalling.
Yeah, we would expect more, and we would expect more support instead of a comment like that.
Absolutely. Especially if we're trying to go in a forward direction with everything in our community and really bring everybody together and unite everybody. Let's take them like 10 steps back. So, unfortunately, how are we going to take 10 steps forward when people keep making comments like this and other things that just seem, it's like they don't want it to end, in other words.
Well, I agree with you, and I got to tell you, I got to applaud the Fairlawn PBA and also the New Jersey State PBA. We've seen the New Jersey State PBA show some support down here in Florida quite a bit. Unfortunately, we've had a lot of tragedy down here. But you guys were very quick. Not only your local PBA, but the state PBA. It almost seemed like you waited a day or two. I don't want to put an exact timeline on it, but you waited a little bit, and then you came up with a very clear stance, both you and the state PBA. And I think it's very important for law enforcement to have that backing, that support. So
absolutely,
I applaud you guys doing that.
My hats are off to our state PBA president, Pat Colligan, the VP, Mark Kovar, even PBA 197's president, John Welsh. He was very instrumental. All these guys, there was many more guys and women. And you know what? Can't thank them enough for their support.
Well, I think it says a lot about the relationship law enforcement has up there in your state. You touched on coming together and united and support and moving forward. I heard a little rumor, something about your mayor, the mayor of Fairlawn. Why don't you tell us, would they behind something?
Mayor was absolutely disgusted by the comments. You know, I even received a call. Actually, I'll go into that in a minute. But yeah, no, he was very disgusted. So he got up on his personal Facebook, and he says simply, look, he goes, comments were disgusting, and you know what? Hey, I'm encouraging all students tomorrow to wear blue in support of our SLEO 3s and law enforcement and our police officers in Fairlawn. And my goodness, the next day, seeing a sea of blue, a bunch of kids at one of our local schools, it was amazing. It was amazing, and that, you know, that's coming together. That's being united, and that's really going in the direction where we need to go.
You know, we touched on something off camera the other day. Why don't you tell our supporters, and we could probably share this with your PBA page so your PBA supporters see it as well, but why don't you share maybe one or two stories from some of these SLEO 3s that just prove how valuable they are already?
Oh, I mean, actually, we're going on day 3 days ago. We had a missing child, and SLEO 3 was on scene already. You know, he was at the school, was able to get a great description, call it out immediately on the radio. We were converging in on the school, and fortunately, the child was found less than a minute later behind the school. But it just goes to show, you know, seconds obviously save lives. We know this from statistics, and you know, it was amazing. It was amazing to have him there. Again, you know, imagine the mother without the officer there, calling 911 frantic, trying to get the information out of her. She's upset. She just lost, you know, she can't find the most valuable thing in her life right now, her child. And then sees an officer. He's able to de-escalate the situation enough where he can get a great description and so on and so forth. So that's one huge positive right there. As you can see, it's working. Also, I mean, I spoke with other SLEO 3s in the schools, and, you know, he goes, look, I mean, I don't know about you. I've never done the Heimlich maneuver in my career. You know, he did it twice in the schools, saved 2 children. That's amazing. That was the surrounding town. The other day too, I stopped in one of the schools, and he goes, I did this officer did like 28 years in a city. And he goes, you know how great feeling it is coming up every day, giving kids high fives. And, you know, at first, you know, they didn't know what to expect. And now it's like the relationship is just building and it's taken off. Yeah.
I love it. We come across school resource officers all the time down here in South Florida. And that's one of the best things, personally speaking, I think it's invaluable because you have that law enforcement to student relationship very early on. That's just wonderful.
Absolutely.
All right. In closing, just to wrap this up, I'd be remiss if I didn't give you the opportunity just to say a few words. Our organization, we have to absolutely tip our hats and thank you, the Fairlawn PBA, because between last year, this year, and then especially back in February, you guys have just been top-notch, amazing, amazing show of brotherhood and sisterhood and support for us down here in South Florida. I feel like we didn't do enough. We tried to send a nice gesture up your way.
It was plenty. It was plenty. Thank you, by the way, for the card. It was very touching, and everything that you guys do too. It's amazing.
No, I appreciate it. I mean, it's the least we can do. But I want to give you an opportunity to share something somewhat personal for you. Tell us who Eddie Egan is to you, maybe as a person, a friend, and then to the PBA and your law enforcement family in New Jersey.
Oh, absolutely. Eddie was my biggest mentor when it came to the PBA. I took over as president 3 years ago, and again, he took me under his wing. And delegates are a very, very important part of the PBA. And, you know, great friend, great mentor. He's going to be sorely missed by everybody on the PD and the state PBA too. I mean, just recently when I was in Florida at the state meeting, they were very, you know, they talked about him for at least 15 minutes, you know, and it was amazing. So
now a delegate, if I'm not mistaken, for you guys for the PBA up there, they support the rank and file, basically. They help out with the union quite significantly. How many years was he a delegate again?
He was a delegate for almost 16 years.
Wow.
Ever since Marianne, who was tragically killed in 03, took over for her.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well,
he'll be sorely missed.
And again, one of the things we like to do is we have a negative, and it's very tragic, and our hearts go out to you guys. But without putting you on the spot, having to name names, how was the show of support from the community?
Oh man, it was overwhelming. I mean, it was unbelievable. Cards, the day of the funeral itself. I mean, you could tell how much he was loved. Amazing guy. Support was amazing from the community. It's something that we will never forget. And again, we can't thank our community, our other brothers and sisters in law enforcement, Team South Florida especially too. Thank you. We're really one big family. Thank you.
And, that's one of the things that we stress. We have two popular hashtags. We will never forget and one big family. So we mean it when we say it, and that's what's important. So I appreciate you taking the time and joining us today. I'm glad we had a negative situation that we were able to turn into a positive. And, please stay safe up there, okay?
You too. You guys stay safe down there as well. Thank you.
Thanks, brother. Have a good one.
Take care. You too.